I'm Charles Lowther, and welcome to Askham Hall and the next instalment of our seasonal films. Each month we're exploring elements of this wonderful living estate, 1,000 years in the making. Our people, our landscape, our farms and our wild spaces, and how these elements influence the food, the wine and the welcome here at the Askham Collection. Part of what we want to get across is the sense of place of Askham is a quieter part of the Lake District. So you have the fells more or less to yourself. Up on Arthur's Pike or Lodepot, where I go all the time, hardly ever see anybody. And then even on walks through the woods, like just out the back of Askham Hall, and it's just glorious. It's so lovely for unwinding. You see lots of wildlife, you see tons of deer. It's just great.
I'm Juno. I'm married to Charlie. We've got 3 children, Zach, Renee and Maxon. So before I met Charlie, I studied at Northumbria in Newcastle. I studied fine art and history of art. And then I went travelling for a bit and I lived in London. I worked for various charities and then I met Charlie in London through a mutual friend. So when I moved up here, I worked for Eden Arts and also I helped set up the George and Dragon with Charlie. We set it up together. So that was a really interesting, fun experience. And then Charlie was then wanting to turn Askham Hall into a hotel. We had lots of empty walls that needed filling, so I thought this is my opportunity to get back into art. I did loads of painting, drawing, and trying to fill these enormous walls throughout Askham Hall. I didn't want to look like it was a Juno exhibition, so I used lots of different mediums, lots of different materials to create varied pieces. So I did some really lovely big pieces and then some smaller drawings, so a real mix. So I worked in London in a role where I helped people and I wanted to combine that kind of a role with my art. I now run art sessions for health and well-being purposes. I feel like the art that I'm encouraging people to do is really helping them feel really good about themselves, helping them feel confident. They're producing something using mediums that they haven't used before, or they haven't for a while, and they produce a piece of artwork which they feel really confident in. It's very, very busy with three young children. It's great, really busy. I need to just make sure I've got a bit of time for myself. I go for a run. I go for a couple of runs a week. And more recently, well, about a year ago, a friend of mine, Gemma, and I, we go running and we make sure we find some cold water to go for a dip in. So that's really good for my health and well-being. It really sorts me out, helps me feel great for the day. I really, really love doing that.
What we're doing at the moment at Askham Hall is we're creating a space dedicated for meditation. For those looking to achieve balance in their lives with the overstimulation of technology and busy lives, a lot of people have realised how beneficial it is. Personally, from my perspective, it's something I do every day, and that's as a result of a health scare. I needed to rebalance my life, and that meditation is an essential part of that. But it helps you focus on nature, and it helps amplify all the wonderful things that you just don't notice if you're not present when you're out on a walk. You know, there's so much to see, and if you meditate and then you take that out into your walks or your runs or your general experience in life, it enriches everything that you see and hear. You can listen to how the play of the wind is on the leaves, and it's really absorbing. It takes you away from your frustrations at work or your overstimulation, and it regrounds you, rebalances you, and you can go back in fresh as a daisy. Of course, you don't have to leave the hotel to unwind fully. You know, our food experience and the immersion of the vegetable gardens and getting to understand the garden itself. And then of course there's our swimming pool and the sauna. You know, you can get a very relaxing experience just in the grounds. But for me, personally, it's about getting into nature on a larger scale, getting away from the crowds and getting fully immersed in nature, listening to the changing seasons.